Hello and welcome to the video. My name's ArbieG and today we are back at Suzuka for Group 3 or GT3 racing. This is the qualifying lap we're seeing here as we're coming into turn 1 and 2, which I've been working on quite a lot over probably the bit I've probably lost the most amount of time in throughout this whole track is definitely turn 1 and 2, and took me the longest to adjust to with the trail braking. So we're just coming through the S-bends here and we are trying to beat. Well, you can see actually I have actually beat my best lap time, and you can see there's a 203.2 that I achieved just before. Previously it was a 203.6 and I've had that as my best lap for quite some time. But after quite a frustrating stream last night where I spent an hour and a half trying to beat that best time and not be able to, and then another hour and a half of frustrating racing where I did just really poorly at times. Sometimes a bit of poor luck getting knocked off the track, but I just performed really poorly. So we did that section there. We're at a 54.4, which is actually pretty good for me. Actually really good for me. So I knew I was on quite a good lap time here, as much as I messed up the apex there. Tried to compensate by going full acceleration when I wasn't quite on the exit line. And we're now making our approach into Spoon Bend. So yeah, wasn't too happy with how I was performing. I moved over to the Audi R8, and after some sort of feedback I'd got, like I'd been having some conversations with a few community members on GT Sport and stuff like that, and yeah, I've decided to change cars. So here we're in the Aston Martin, and we're just going down the back straight now. I knew there was a good time at the time because obviously I was ahead of my 203.2 when I was running against the Ghost, so I knew I was doing pretty well with this lap. And again, I feel like I've been trying to beat my 203.6 for the best part of a week now, so I feel like I've kind of had a bit of epiphany, change of car, a few turns I'm taking slightly differently, and suddenly I'm getting an extra half a second or a second out of the car. So you can see there we have finished on a 203.0, really pleased with that qualification time. Head to post screen here, the stats. Weirdly enough, it wasn't sort of my best lap across all the sections. If I did my best lap across all the sections, I would have got a 202.5, which you know is a second ahead from where I was when I angrily quit the stream. I didn't angrily quit the stream, but you know I ended the stream and went to bed quite frustrated with the night that we had. We had a really bad night. We were in a few races. We poled in third, and quite a lot of these races we end up finishing 9th, 10th, 12th. Just getting hit off track or just trying to go too hard on corners and trying too hard to try and go hard around the track. So this is the race anyway after our qualification. So you can see here I qualified 4th. We're only do one race on today's video. I'm not going to hammer you with two, just the one race, which I did sort of not long after setting that qualification time of 203. Well, it's a 203.1 really, but I'm saying it's 203.0. My driver rating is still D and my safety rating is still A. Really pleased with the safety rating. Want to keep that up at A if I can, or possibly move up to A+. But driver rating is something I want to start improving, so I need to start getting some better results, especially after my performance on stream last night. So we've got a nice tight pack here. You can see qualification times, we're already going down to 13th place and they're still at 205, so everyone in this pack is able to keep pace and able to possibly overtake. With first and second place, they're sort of paced at 2 minutes 2:01, so might have a little bit of pace on me. If they really start trying to hit those lap times, I just won't be able to do anything about it. So we're doing a rolling start here. Good old rolling start. So this is the B, a daily race. So this is only a 4-lap race. We've got nothing to worry about in terms of tyre wear or fuel or pits or anything like that. Just a good old short race. So position 1 dropped out there, kind of went to the side and slowed off a bit. I don't know if he's waiting for everyone to go through turn 1 and go from the back, but I'm not going to complain if I've climbed up a position due to it. So coming into turn 1 and turn 2, we've taken a nice line through there. The two in front of us are a little bit wavy. I don't know if they've made a bit of contact. Oh, and we've come off slightly there. Bit of a poor start, and we've already had to concede a position due to the fact we just come off the track a little bit there, and have already had to drop a place, which is a bit of a mistake from us there, coming off and losing that grip. So you can see there I've put the time differences on the left. So on the replays, you can't see the time differences between the different positions. Don't put the time deltas on. So every now and again I'm going to overlay the time deltas on the left so we can see how we're doing in terms of gaps between in front and behind us. But at the moment, you can see we've got 5th place chasing us quite behind, still sitting in 4th. So it's the same place where we polled, but really we've lost 1 place to the Spaniard in front of us. So coming around to the hairpin now, seen hit the apex quite nicely there, and got on the acceleration relatively nicely there. Maybe a little bit later. That's why they managed to pull away a little bit in front. And we've got the Frenchman in 5th, still giving chase as well, so we're very aware of them as we come round Spoon Curve. And again, I've been tapping a little bit of brake on the second part of Spoon Curve. Almost run over there, just kind of fighting it a little bit, but we've managed to hold it all together. We've noticed the Frenchman in 5th, I don't know if you saw the rear view mirror, but he span off there and he's lost his position. He didn't quite spin off, he just lost a bit of grip. Are coming off the track and has had to concede a position, so that's given us a little bit of a gap between ourselves and 5th. So now we can really concentrate on just trying to chase down those front 3. I set my TCS on the qualification to 0, so we had no traction control on the qualification, so I could push it. Oh, we can see the deltas now, so we're about 2 seconds behind the guys in front, about 2 seconds behind in front of the people behind us. So we've got a nice little gap here, but we need to try and close up between ourselves and second and third. And the Italian has run off the course, so we can pip another position there and push ourselves into a podium position in 3rd place. So so far I'm quite pleased with this race. Like I think I've said quite a lot throughout this when I started this channel. You know, my early aim is just a consistency, do a decent pace and stay on the track. You know, I'm not looking to win every race that I go into. If I can gain a couple of places and if I can make sensible choices, then I feel like I'm definitely making progress. And then, you know, once we've mastered that and once we've sort of a bit better at actually racing, then we can really start trying to push ourselves and see if we can try and get a few race wins in. So we're holding 3rd quite nicely here. Got a nice little hold on 3rd as we come round into the hairpin. And we took that a little slow, we've come a little wide, a little bit oversteer there and I've kinked out and oh, I'm a little bit off the track and we've done awful there and lost 2 positions from the chap from the UK and the Frenchman in front. So we've got a bit of work to do now in order to get ourselves back, or hopefully not push it too hard to lose ourselves. So the Frenchman losing a little bit of control through the first part of the spoon curve as we come down into the back straight. Come off a little bit onto the AstroTurf, but unfortunately didn't lose any grip and the Frenchman again has lost all of his... Oh no, it's not the French, sorry, beg your pardon, it's the British. Lost all of his grip as I come down the inside of the Frenchman, coming for an overtake here. I've got the inside of him. Oh, he makes a little bit of contact on the inside of me, but I've managed to get the overtake and managed to retake 3rd position. Relatively pleased. I think that might even be the first overtake we've managed to get on the channel, like as in clean overtake. As you notice, most overtakes are people coming off in front of you and all this kind of stuff, and in 4-lap races sometimes getting a genuine overtake can be quite a hard thing to do. So yeah, pleased that we managed to capture that onto the channel, and we've got an overtake there. So we're in 3rd and he's really trying to push to claim back his 3rd position, but he's pushed a little bit too hard and gone wide and lost a little bit of speed in going into turn 2. So we've still got another just under 2 laps here, so you can see 1st and 2nd place have really pushed ahead, got a really good gap on us there, so we can't see that gap being pushed. So really now it's about trying to defend. You can see there the deltas come up, we've got about 7 seconds gap in front and a 2-second gap behind us. So if we can just maintain that 2-second gap, maybe hit some 204s, 205s in our lap times, not push it too hard to risk us coming off track, but just a nice steady pace, and that should see us out for the race. So yeah, so far so good. Like I said, a Suzuka circuit's been a bit of a pain for me. I've struggled to acclimatise to some of the turns, and I think I've been wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of energy in trying to find time in turns where there is none, not focusing in places where I should. But at the same time, it's all, you know, this is all part of the learning experience. When we move on to our next track, we'll certainly take the things we've learnt when we try to acclimatise to this track and class and see if we can use that to do, you know, perform better when we move on. as the daily races should change going into next week, and I plan to sort of move on from that. In fact, I think this is probably going to be the last video you see from this set of daily races at Suzuka. So with our time deltas there, we've managed to climb a little bit and got a nice nice firm 2-second gap from the chap behind, the Italian behind us, as we come round into the chicane at the end of the lap. Coming now into our final lap, we managed to hit the apex as nicely there, which would get us a nice exit peak coming into the front straight into turn 1 and 2. So we hit 2:04.7 there. Not obviously not competing with our 2:03 flat, almost 2 seconds below our quali times. But you know, we are racing with a little bit of traction, only touch of traction control to ensure we're not slipping out when we don't need to. So that's probably going to have an impact on our lap times, and we're just not pushing it as hard as what we would in practice or a qualifying. So we've reduced, the gap's come down a bit, 1.5 second gap from the guy behind us as we come through the S bends. And but we're still looking relatively safe, barring doing some error and coming off track, or making a major error at one of the major parts before one of the big straights. We should be relatively safe to again finish in what is our first podium on a Suzuka circuit out of the 4 or 5 races we've managed to squeeze out of here since we've been practicing a lot here. So yeah, I definitely found this Aston Martin, the V12 Aston Martin that I've been racing with this time, a little bit more easier to control. Oh, you can see there the deltas are up again, so we've got a nice 2-second gap, so we managed to gain that half-second lead we have. But yeah, I did find the Aston Martin, definitely for this course, a little bit more easier to control, not having to fight against it as much as I was with the R8. R8, I was, coming off the track quite a lot and just trying to fight against the oversteer of it quite a lot, whereas this seemed quite grounded. I set the brake balance, so I actually eased the brakes to be a little bit more on the front as opposed to the back, so a +2 on the brake balance. Just seemed to squeeze me a little bit more time out of it as I was experimenting. So we're coming now towards the end of the race. We're looking pretty solid here, and we've got a yellow flag. Looks like there might have been an accident up front. Is there an opportunity to gain another position? Spanish here's got a penalty. I think that's a 1-second penalty there. The gap between us, although unfortunately looks like it's greater than 1 second, so yeah, he's got a 1.7 second lead. So unfortunately we're not going to close that gap, but we almost pipped second place at the end. But we've got to be happy with our first podium finish at Suzuka. So now we've got podium finishes at both of the main tracks that we've tried at since we've started the channel. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased that I've managed to sort of pull it back with Suzuka. I would have been a bit sour if I left the stream we did last night as the final note on this race B. I think after this we're going to start paying my attention into race A, which is actually a bit of a slower race, but it's on with a road car. I can't remember which one. So we're going to probably expect something on that in terms of videos over the next few days. So there's our results screen there. You can see that we have confirmed our 3rd position, which I'm very pleased about that. We managed to rein our position by 1, and we got a little star for a clean race. So we didn't have any penalties or make any have any major collisions or hits on the barrier. So we get our clean race star. So hopefully we can knock a few of those out in a row. And let's just have a quick look at the final stat screen here. So we can see we've got a tiny boost on the safety rating, not enough to go up, but happy with our A. No boost yet on the driver rating, that's still sitting at D. But you can see in terms of best lap of 2:04.7, not really remarkable, but in terms of what everyone else is doing, perfectly happy with that. And we're going to have a quick look at the lap chart here, so you can see finishing in 3rd across, but if we go right across to the very start, you can see, now there's a lot more movement than this from what I remember. I remember dropping down to 5th at one point, but it must have happened in between the sectors. But from that, quite a neat race, starting in 4th and just sliding up to 3rd place. So yeah, that is my time done at Suzuka. I think I'm definitely going to call it a day now. Expect another video coming in the next few days at another track and another car. Certainly expect another stream at some point this week. Probably most likely be on Thursday. But thank you very much for coming and checking it out. And if you've got any feedback, any sort of suggestions or any tips, anything that I can do better in terms of the videos or even the racing itself, just let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other smooth jazz. And I will catch you guys soon. Alright guys, cheers, bye.